Mickey did something very unique that we've never had anybody do. There were several things that he did that are different, but there was one really unique thing that really impressed us, is that we were telling him that there are certain things that we would like to have. And he said, I tell you what, I want to come over to your house that you're living in, and I want you to show me what you like, and I want you to show me what you don't like. And we'd never thought about that.
And it is so simple.
Yeah, yeah. And so Mickey came over to our house, and we just went from room to room. And you know, he is so good. You know, he's so well schooled and educated himself that at the end of about 15, 20 minutes, he said, Judy, you need an office of your own. And we had never really thought about that, but that's exactly what she needed, and that's what we got, because she does a lot of work for me and on her own. And she needed a place that she could put down her own little computer and typewriter and spread things out and do things, so he incorporated that in the house. He's very good. He's very good. He finds out about your lifestyle. You know, he tries to get to know you, and he's so good it didn't take him a second, but he just found out what we liked, what we didn't like, what our lifestyle was, and he just said, you need this, this, and this, and he was right. I mean, this is the most user-friendly house for us that we've ever had. This is how we live, is what you see here, and it was just great.
I wouldn't let anyone else build a house for me. Mickey has done it for us before. He didn't kill us then, and he didn't kill us this time. But he makes building so much fun that I want to become a builder, because I think it's easy every time.
You know, Mickey found us and we found him virtually simultaneously. We had already purchased this particular lot here in North Dallas. It's about 1.25 acres, and already leveled the old house that was on it, so we started the bid process looking for a contractor. And we must have interviewed a half a dozen contractors. And Mickey, in every one of our meetings, always rose to the top versus all of the other contractors for multiple reasons. Mickey's an architect by trade, and therefore he has this unspoken ability to give you comfort and of his knowledge and his experience in the field that just a regular builder doesn't have. In fact, the one and only change order he gave us in our entire home was to increase capacity of our air conditioning system, which is a geothermal system. It's not just your average air conditioning system. And that was it. Over a 2-year construction period, that was the only change order we had. So it's pretty remarkable.
I stumbled upon one of Mickey's homes maybe 20 years ago in the mid-'80s, and I had a friend who was looking for a house. And I thought they were just the most forward in design and what I put into the house. And I helped this friend buy the house. I had a real estate broker's license at the time, but when I went to negotiate the price for her for the house and work with the builder, because we worked directly with the builder, it was Mickey Munir of Sharif Munir. And we had a successful closing on the house, but I just admired his work from that experience. And about 20 years later, we were looking to build a new house, and we came upon this project at Place de Vosges, and when I learned that Mickey Munir was building the houses in the project, I said, I'm finally going to get a Mickey Munir house.
I saw Mickey's homes probably 25 years ago off of Hillcrest. He'd built some little garden homes, and I was just out looking at houses one day, went in and saw them and fell in love with the houses, and they were way out of my price range, but I knew that I wanted him to build me a house someday, and just kind of put it in my Rolodex, and when we got ready to build a house, I just looked him up.
For me, I mean, it's the quality. It's the quality of the home. I mean, the way it's engineered, the finish out's unbelievable.
We had specific ideas about the floor plan because we wanted it designed just for our lifestyle and for our entertainment needs. So we worked with Mickey's architects in doing the floor plan. Then Nancy Ross at Dallas Design did a fabulous job in interpreting what we were telling her and making sense out of it and putting this together.
When people come in and they see the foyer and that view all the way up, what do they say?
Wow.
He does so much with marbles in the entries and the master baths, and that's where you really recognize a Mickey house, and then the stairways, the wrought iron. He works with Nancy on all the wrought iron, and it's just perfecto.
I mean, he gave us everything we wanted, quality and beauty, and we just love it.
And I told Judy, going in and look around. They had some homes that were furnished and that the builders had built, different builders had built.
And Mickey's was the first one that I went to.
Yeah.
And so, you know, keep in mind that I'm not really excited about doing this because building a house is not what I want to do. But I went in and I thought, this house is really pretty. I guess maybe I could get on board with this. And so I went through the house, and their salesman was telling me all the things that they did and everything, and I thought, oh, well, this is really nice. And then I got upstairs to the media room, and I just called Jerry and I said, okay, this is where you need to be here. And he dropped everything and just came on over, and we decided on the spot. While he was on his way over, I made a quick tour of the other homes. I didn't see anything I liked as well, and the rest is history.
On our first house that he did for us, we sat down with him and we didn't know what we wanted yet, okay? And we said, where do we begin? He said, what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? I run to the potty. And he said, let's start there. And he started building my little world, my cocoon, and pretty soon we had built this little potty area that was really quite nice. And I went, oh, this is fun. And then we went into other areas.
Let's build a bedroom around it.
Yeah, let's build a bedroom around it, and then go to her side and so forth. But that's the kind of thinking that he does, and we appreciate that. So this time around, we knew we were going to be simpatico.
I would say the most important thing is that he wanted to know what we wanted to build, and that's what he wanted to sell us. He didn't try to sell us what he was accustomed to building. He listened, and that was probably the single most important thing from day one.
He was very excited about doing it because he doesn't get an opportunity to do homes like this very often. He said he's starting to get more opportunities to do it. But that was really our own concern about Mickey building the house, was the fact that we hadn't seen any contemporaries that he'd done. And I know it's a different type of construction. But we met with several builders, really just to get different bids on it. And just after we talked to him, we felt like he was the best qualified to build a house.
His houses are definitely different than any other home builder in the Metroplex. You can spot a Sharif Munir home. They're unique. Each one is different, but you can see the Sharif Munir lines and that they use the different materials and construction.
We gave them a real challenge because, as I said, his architects worked with me in doing the floor plan, and we started pouring concrete before the inside of the house was ever designed. So they had to change as we went along. So we were probably a challenge for them because we keep saying, you know, we want to change this or make this bigger or move this wall, and they were able to do that. I mean, it's truly custom, and he can do it the way you want it.
We say an $80,000 house is shelter, and anything above that is emotion. And this is an emotional experience to walk into a Munir house and see this all come together and know that the strength is behind the walls, that he's put the right dishwasher in, and that he has the extra disposal in the kitchen, and you know, just every little thing you can think of.
If he builds a good solid foundation, the rest will come. And he did that. He came to our home and overbuilt the piers. In fact, we used to have a gentleman that lived across the street. He was an engineer, a bridge construction engineer, highway construction. He was in his late 80s, and he drove by our house when they were drilling the piers, and he said, son, if we ever have the big flood and they wash out from under your house, that house will be standing there. So he over-engineered this house. Not to my specs, but he over-engineered to most people's specs. I love it. I know that our foundation will withstand anything.
I tell everybody that you're crazy out of your mind if you don't have Mickey Munir build your house. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that to you, I say that to everybody. We have never come in contact with anybody like Mickey and his organization. There are really no kinks in their armor. I mean, most people, when they're through building a house, they want to kill their builder, you know. we would love to adopt Mickey.
Mickey can do outstanding contemporary, and that was what I was concerned about. Can he come in and do the traditional work? And most definitely he did, I felt.
You know, you don't know until you start the process what you actually want to do in the home. You know, things change, and I've worked with a lot of builders on my restaurants that you bring up a change and they're like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we can do that. It's sure going to cost a lot of money. And they're just, you know, yes, sir, Mr. Leatherwood, and they get with you the next day and tell you, if it's going to take any extra time, if it's going to cost any extra money. But they're just great to deal with in that respect. It's everything's a work in progress all the time. So it's never, you're not getting hit with these I can't get it done kind of responses from them.
Look at this book. We like this idea. Let's put that into it. So it really was an outgrowth of ideas that you like, but it takes someone brilliant like Nancy Ross and Mickey Munir to take all the ingredients and make a cake out of it. They took all the ingredients and made a wonderful house.
Mickey's reputation is that he has the quality, it's second to no one. The quality of his construction, his design. The design's great. He and his team of architects, they do a fabulous job in designing and constructing a home. So not only are you getting something unique in design, you're also getting the quality of craftsmanship as well.
It's everything we were looking for, everything.
In fact, we've considered selling only because there's just two of us living in this house. And it's a lot of space for just two of us. And we look around and say, no, it's too magnificent. Mickey built too incredible of a home to just leave.
We want to maximize the height of the ceilings in the rooms, and so we had to find ways to do that. And he did that partly with the superstructure by using steel in some places where normally you'd use wood, which gave us a few inches here and a few inches there. And so we were able to get what we wanted. But I think that's the best example of how he and his architects work with you to try to get what you want.
You could just tell his organization from the initial walking in the house exposure all the way down the line is extremely professional, very well informed, very well educated, and it was a no-brainer as to who we would go to. It was absolutely a no-brainer.
They've just done an outstanding job, and we've been here now since the end of May, and every single time we find any little thing, they're in here within the next couple of days to get it fixed. They work around our schedule, so they've just been great to work with, even after moving in.
We've actually had, in the last couple of days, an offer about $1 million more than what we paid for this house. But we really don't want to sell it. But if we decided to sell, we would do the exact same thing with Mickey.
It's an oh my.
It is an oh my.
It's an oh my.
I can't believe I get to live here, kind of thing, you know? I mean, it's just so beautiful. And
I've lived in apartments for the last 20-something years, and it really feels like, our place. It's unique to us, and it's really been a wonderful place for us to live.
It's an incredible organization. I am very, very nitpicking, very organized. As a physician, I have to be to survive with what I do. And I was never ahead of those people. They were always ahead of me. When it was time to discuss something with them, they already had everything lined up, had everything fixed up that, okay, Dr. Barker, we need to decide this, this, and this. And it was like, wow, that's exactly what I was going to talk to you about. They are so organized. I don't know how to say it other than that.